Everybody, Brent Jones, NuHomeSource Realty. How are you? We're going to do a very, very quick Facebook Live about if you're going to buy a house, what are some of the things that you should keep in mind, what you should consider as far as what you and your family need now, but also when you buy that property, what the future might hold as far as the future resale of that property. So let's chat about this real quickly. First of all, click notifications, follow me, like this video, leave a comment, share this video with your family and friends. Been in real estate in North Texas for 33 years. When you're considering a home, you need to try to get as much of what's important to you and your family as possible, but you really need to keep in mind, yes, this is a home for you now, but it's an investment for you and your family on down the road, and you need to keep both of those ideas in mind when you're looking at a property. By the way, just looking online can be frustrating. It can be, you're looking at a lot of picked over, overpriced properties. I have access to pre-listed houses, my Perfect Home Finder program. So if you're not finding what you're wanting online, contact me. Tell me what's important to you. Let me work my magic. Let me go find some houses that are not currently on the market that might fit the needs of you and your family. But when you're purchasing a house, what are some of the things that are immediately important to you? Well, area being it's close to a lake and y'all are boat people, or it's close to a golf course, or it's close to your church, or someone in your family travels a lot, or you work at the airport, so you need to be close to the airport. Obviously, price range, you need to look. Let's not go look for BMWs when you only qualify for a Volkswagen, so be sure that you're in the correct price range for what you've been pre-approved for. School district, if you have kids, schools are very important, and we're going to mention this in just a second. I would propose to you that even if you don't have school-age kids, you should still buy a home in a good school district. Why? For future resale. There's always a market for homes that are in a good school district. We'll talk about that in a second. Also, condition. When you consider purchasing a home and you get an executed contract, you absolutely need to get that property inspected. You need to invest a few pennies to protect all the hundreds of thousands of dollars that you're about to invest. So when I say pennies, a typical home inspection depends on if it has a septic system or a swimming pool or outbuildings, et cetera, but you could plan on $400 to $700 for a home inspection, but you need to get the home inspected. As a matter of fact, there was something on Instagram about a woman who just bought a house in Colorado, and after they moved in, they were hearing noises and the dogs were going crazy and scratching at the walls, and they punched a hole in the wall and the house was infested with snakes. Completely insane. You need to have the house inspected. I mean, that's kind of an extreme example, but you need to have the house inspected. My question to those people would be, when you had the house inspected, how did your inspector miss that infestation? Probably the answer is they chose not to have it inspected. Big mistake. So you need to have the house inspected and request repairs if necessary. So area is important, price is important, school district is important, condition is important. So that's what's important for you now. You know, does it have enough bedrooms? Yes or no? Does it have an upstairs? You may not want stairs because you reach a point in your life when you're done climbing stairs, but for privacy's sake, maybe mom and dad do want the kids to be upstairs. So is it big enough square feet? If you've got kids and dogs, does it have a nice big flat fenced in backyard? Yes or no? Do you want a pool? So a lot of those features that are important to you and your family. Maybe you have a multi-generational family living together, so is there enough room for mom and dad and the kids and the grandparents and et cetera, et cetera. So do all the features of the house, check what you're looking for. But here's the other thing to keep in mind. It's not just a house for now, for today. It's an investment on down the road. As a matter of fact, the number one way that middle America builds wealth is by purchasing their own home and living there for several years and allowing it to appreciate in value. But when you're buying a house, are there any built-in deficiencies with that house? For instance, does it back up to a freeway? Is there anything that if you bought that house 5 years from now, it would be a turnoff to the vast majority of potential buyers? What could some of those things be? Well, backing up to a noisy road, backing up to a busy road, backing up to a highway. Crime, is it in a high crime area? And you can go online and see what the crime rate is for various different areas. Is it close to a spillway? Does all the water in the subdivision come down to this property, come down around to this property? Power lines. I think they've kind of debunked that power lines cause brain cancer, because that was a big deal several years ago, but still it has a negative stigma to it. A lot of people don't want power lines running over their house. Airport, is the flight patterns from the closest airport going right straight over your house. So is there a railroad? I literally helped a family one time sell their house, and I mean literally on the other side of their wood back fence was a railroad track. And the train at 6:01, you could always know what time it was, because at 6:01, here comes the train. So are there any built-in deficiencies? And if there are, you should seriously think twice before you buy a house that's going to have a built-in deficiency, that's going to turn people off, because it's going to be difficult to sell. So always keep that in mind. So you're looking for a house now for your family and what meets your needs, but also it's a big time investment for on down the road as well. So keep that in mind. Again, I've been doing this for 33 years. Anything I can do to be of help, even if you just have a real estate question, feel free to contact me. And again, contact me about my perfect home finder, where I can find you houses that are not currently listed if you're tired of just looking online. Brent Jones, New Home Source Realty, 214-649-4528. 214-649-4528. Have a great day. Bye-bye.